Hello, friends. My name is Tetiana Kalinowska, and I work with transformational practices. And also, I am very passionate about self acceptance and inner growth. This series of interview is my way to bring different voices together for the theme You Are Enough. And today I have very special guest, Susanne Meis. And Susanne, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a bit about forest bathing and how you were drawn to this practice.
Thank you. Hi, Tanya, and thank you for having me here. I love to share these things. I'm so passionate about the benefits of nature. So my name is Susanna, and I help women mainly, but also men to relax and to recharge themselves, but also to reconnect with nature and themselves in the process. So I used to have problems with my own energy when I was younger, and I compared myself to my brother and my mother, who were very, very energetic, and I needed a nap after school sometimes. And so for my whole life, I've been quite fascinated with learning more about energy and how to improve my own energy. And through over a decade of research and helping others manage their energy and practicing various other forms that can help us to improve our energy, I came across forest bathing as a practice because all my research, I arrived at nature as in all the areas, whether it's sleep, nutrition, hydration, everything led me to nature. So I became very curious about, okay, so what are specific ways of helping ourselves to energize and with nature? And I have continued to improve my own energy and also feel a lot more accepting and loving of myself, and also have witnessed other people enjoying those benefits from nature as well. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So first of all, they really understand how stressed they actually were. Quite often we live in the so-called sympathetic or the stress response, and this can go on for a long time. So people are actually not really aware how stressed they have been. So forest bathing, which is essentially in a nutshell, it's a nature-based well-being practice where you walk slowly in nature and you appreciate nature through all your senses. And that allows your nervous system to have a space to reset and to enter into a different part of your nervous system, so which is called your parasympathetic nervous system. And that not only helps you to relax very deeply, but it also really shows you how much rest and relaxation you were actually needing. So some people fall asleep, but it also really reminds us of our natural state of joy and connectedness, because when we're in that part of our nervous system, we also can access the intelligence of our heart. So the body and the whole nervous system is relaxed enough to remember really truly who we are. So it's the responses sometimes can be quite magical, because people are saying, I'm so happy, I feel so alive, I feel so relaxed, and I feel so connected. And they don't only feel connected to nature, but also to themselves and also to the rest of the participants as well, which is so lovely to see, really.
Yes. Anyway, I can agree because I came to your few of your practices and they were really wonderful. So I recommend everyone to try. Yeah.
Yes.
But really, sometimes you don't have to say much, but you feel like connected, definitely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're living in times where the media and advertising and just the demands of daily life are constantly taking our attention away and almost force us to compare ourselves to others sometimes. And also the media is designed to make us feel, or the advertising is designed to make us feel as if we don't have enough, or we are not enough. And sometimes it can come also from messages from childhood that we have just adopted as the truth, but they are not, obviously not the truth. But there are many reasons why we just don't feel maybe happy or content, and we've forgotten that really just by being human being we are already enough. So we don't need to compare ourselves, and we're completely unique. So we can't really compare ourselves. It actually doesn't make any logical sense to compare ourselves. And nature is a beautiful reminder of that, because everything in nature is diverse and unique. There is no tree the same as any other tree, no flower or no animal. And when we remind ourselves that we are part of nature and we can appreciate the beauty and diversity, and also the beauty in diversity. So one tree is not more beautiful than the other, or not more worthy or valuable than the other. And it just reminds ourselves that it's the same for us as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And one of the things I also can say that whenever I see a tree, which is look beautiful, and then one branch is shorter, one is longer, and it's still beautiful. And
Yes. Even yes, sorry, yes.
no worries. Even in the same tree, which have all those parts which are different,
Yes.
but still amazing and
Yeah.
unique.
There is no tree. Sometimes when you see trees depicted in images or art, they are actually not in real life. They're not symmetrical. So no tree is fully symmetrical. Yeah.
Yes. So why will we human want to be so symmetrical? And yes, maybe if something look outside like very pretty, but inside it's
Yes.
very
And
different.
it's also on some level we have this notion of perfect or perfectionism, and it's like a concept. It's a concept in our mind. It's something that is actually not in our nature. So we are in our nature, we are growing always. So we are never perfect. We can never be perfect, and we shouldn't even necessarily think of this. We never arrive anywhere and be perfect. So that's another reason why maybe people are feeling not enough, because they're having this concept of perfectionism, whereas really our nature is to grow. And if we instead shift our identity to just I am always growing, then that is already a big help. And again, that mirrors nature as well. So
Yeah.
nature is always growing. Yeah.
And personally, I notice as well something that the more I accept myself the way I am, the more I kind of feel happier, and it's even visible on my skin, with my eyes, that wow, I'm so happy to see myself today. And the more I feel like that, the more like fulfilled I am, and I don't need approval from anyone else, but I need only to hear this from myself, because it's me who need to believe that I am enough the way I am, and like the way I was created, it's already perfect enough.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's also this notion of not being enough. It's a lie. If we think of how unique and special we really are, the chances of being born are there's like, I think I don't know the exact statistics, but it's such an amazing thing to just be born. And we are so unique, so totally special, that even just thinking that we couldn't be enough is just crazy. And also the mind is saying, oh, not enough, but we are not asking not enough what for or what for.
Yeah.
So we are not giving ourselves like an actual definition. So if I think that we're not good enough for this, or we're not enough for that, but it's what is it for? And if you, like you said yourself, the moment that we decide, well, I'm good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm good enough for me. What is my rule, my way of measuring that I'm good enough for me? And this can be, I want to be my personal best in helping others, maybe taking into account that on some days maybe I'm more tired on others, or being kind to ourselves, but really understanding I am the one, you are the one that's deciding good enough for what? Good enough for yourself, good enough maybe to be on this planet, to enjoy something. We are good enough. We are more than good enough. We are absolutely plenty for everything that we decide that we want to do. Because sometimes, and this goes back to the comparing ourselves, if we look at someone else and think like, oh my God, they are so amazing in this area, and I'm not that. I don't know much about this, or I can't sing as well, or whatever, or dance as well, or something. But then we're not asking ourselves, what do I even want to? Do I want to sing? I mean, I like singing and dancing, but I love helping people to relax and nourish themselves and remember who they are with the help of nature. That's what I am passionate about. And every time I am fulfilling that, I'm absolutely feeling good enough, and I can make a difference, and it can be something very, very small. It doesn't have to be anything grand. So it's up to us to define what is this, and the reason that we are not defining makes it very fuzzy and just this niggling in worry or fear or thought. It's just a thought. It's actually a lie in the background that we're not enough. But the moment we define what is it, what, good enough for what, that already helps. And then stop comparing ourselves, really.
Yeah. And if you could share some, at least maybe story or like some episode of your beginning of being a guide.
Yes.
Like, did you feel straight away that you are a perfect guide, or did you feel like you still had to work on yourself to become that's okay, I am enough guide and I can teach other people,
Yes.
can show other people that they can enjoy and relax with me?
Yes, absolutely. And I think when we're learning something new, always we are making mistakes, and it takes us more focus, and we're learning. And so we need to remember that when we're learning, that's part of it. So yes, absolutely. I was tired after guiding my first sessions. I was doubting myself and thinking, oh, did I do this right, or did I remember to do this? Because there's a lot of different things we have to balance, the head and the heart, and maintaining our own connection with nature, and rather than just going through the motions. And so it's really a dance and a co-creation together with nature. And so absolutely, yes, this was a journey. But like with everything, I think that the more often we do it, and the better responses we receive, we get feedback, and we get reassurance from other people that really this is making a difference, even if we're not, like I said, we can never get perfect. And I am, every time I lead a group in nature, which now I have literally seen thousands of people in different locations across the UK, and I'm leading the forest bathing team at Kew Gardens. So I have a team as well, and every time I learn something from nature, I learn something new from my participants, and I learn something new about myself as well. So it's a beautiful gift that just keeps giving, really, and it never ends. It never ends. So there's never anything that doesn't feel. There's always a challenge, but in a good way. So that I'm grateful that it allows me to keep growing. Yeah.
It's very beautiful answer. And like I really like how you said that it's a dance with nature and ourselves. It's so beautiful. And this question, I think it should help a lot of people, because many people struggle to start something new, even if they believe that, oh, I'm good in something, this or that, but because they feel they might be judged, or they might not be good at that, or maybe it's too late to start something new, or whatever. But it's never too late. It's never too late. And if you want to start something new, your new journey, just start it.
Yes, absolutely. And also, it's what's more important, I think, is than maybe knowing something or having already the skills, is whether we are fascinated, or we enjoy something, or we're curious about something. So there's nothing to lose about trying a new project just because we're curious or even already passionate about something, because the more we do something, the better we get. So it's actually impossible at the beginning of something to actually know how good we could possibly be in something. So quite often we can make the mistake of just doing something a few times and feeling embarrassed, or being afraid of looking stupid or sounding stupid or whatever it is. And it does take a courage at the beginning, but knowing that the more often we do something, actually our confidence and our courage will increase. And that is part of the journey, that it will feel uncomfortable at times. And that's actually good to know that beforehand, that actually, so what I'm doing now is every time I feel uncomfortable, every time I feel outside of my comfort zone, if, for example, teaching a new audience or speaking in front of the media or something like that, I'm reminding myself that this is how it feels to grow. That this is just how it feels to grow, rather than wanting to change the feeling of being maybe a little bit uncomfortable, maybe just noticing where it is in my body and not giving it a story of what it may mean, and just noticing it and okay, this is what it feels to grow. And yeah.
Yes. And it's quite interesting because I think people who tried something to do themselves, like to challenge themselves or to start something at maybe when they older or whatever, they will never judge because they understand everyone who tried to do something to overcome their fears, and even if things were not perfect, they will never judge because they know what it is.
Yes.
I think most of the time it's people who will judge you. It's the people who, as well, like they also want to do something, but they never get that courage to do something themselves. And then they will look for your, like, oh, you could do something here better. You could do something there better. But when you learn and when you start new journey, of course, from beginning you will do mistake, like you said, but those mistakes should not stop us. They should just give us like a booster.
Absolutely.
And to learn more.
Yeah, there's this concept of failing forward, and I learned recently from some research that women are a lot more likely to feel discouraged when they make a mistake and to give up compared to men, because men are just okay, so that all right, so I move on to the next thing and I'll try again, and it's just this concept of yes, I'll just, the more mistakes I make, the better, then the faster I can be successful, right? Rather than thinking every mistake is because there must be something wrong with us or yeah. The main principle of forest bathing is to get into our senses, and that does so many things for us. And it's I'm always trying to describe this because it's actually difficult to imagine it in our head. So I can share this with you. But so if you, for example, you can think of drinking a nice warm cup of tea or something and imagine it, but it's very different to actually do it and have the sensation of the warm drink and actually being in the experience with all your senses. And when we get into our senses, when we engage our senses, it will help us to take us out of the mind into the body and also more into the present moment, which has so many benefits. And if that is connected with engaging the senses in nature or with something natural, a natural element, and I'll get into something specific in a sec, that is even more powerful because it's combining mindfulness, getting into the senses and becoming more aware, but it's also combining it with the aliveness of nature. So everything that in nature is actually it's a living organism, and that there's an exchange because we can sense that, our nervous system can sense that. So the moment we step outside of our house, and I can also share something indoors, for example, we can become aware of the temperature of the atmosphere around us, which is going to be different compared to inside. We can allow our eyes to travel up to the sky. Our eyes are normally looking downwards or at the screen. They have like a limited range and it's two-dimensional. They're like locked in a fixed position. So when we allow our eyes to travel up, our emotions and our mental state can be uplifted. And also we notice the space of the sky around us, which can actually help us to feel more spacious and in our thinking as well. So literally it can be so simple. We do not need a forest. But when you are in an environment that has some trees or a woodland or park, our sense of touch So we do not need to only use our sense of vision, but we can use the sense of touch or the sense of hearing. And anytime we focus our attention, we give attention to any living organisms in nature, any part of the living world, whether it's an animal or a tree and then it has a really, really restorative effect on our mind, but also uplifting in our emotions. So we can touch a tree or we can lean against it. But for example, even indoors, when we have a house plant or something, you can simply appreciate how the plant looks, that the plant is alive, maybe touch it with our hands. And so it just reminds us of our connection with the living natural world and that we are part of it as well. We're not separate from it. And it takes us out of the mind into the body and gives our whole mind a break. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? I know that, for example, I heard about some experience as well people do with plants, and that the plants really can hear us and they can feel our, they feel what we feel, what we think, and things like that. And I can confirm that as at some point I had one plant and the plant was kind of going a bit funny. I don't know how to explain it. And I start thinking that, okay, like maybe I will replant it, maybe I will cut some part and then, and you know, that plant started dying. And I felt like, wow, like that. Then I saw the program and I understood that the plant already felt what I'm thinking, that I'm thinking to do some surgeries on it. And it felt like I don't love it or something like that. But anyway, now I have that plant, and because I start the one which I replanted, and I keep saying that I love it so much, and now I have 3 of them.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And there's so much science on that as well, or as that if we can talk to plants, we can appreciate them, and also there's this exchange, of course, whenever we appreciate something, whenever we find something beautiful. Beauty is such an amazing, powerful thing in that it can take us out of our own limited self, so it can transcend fear and yes, yeah. So just appreciating something else would help us to feel better about us as well.
Yeah.
Ourselves, yeah.
And so, like, I think that when we caring about plants and nature around us, we feel ourselves better, and like, yes, like you say, that we exchange in this energy between ourselves, and it's really flowing. And I think the more happier you feel, the more happier your plants feel, and they grow in very nice and things like that.
Yeah, and we start to notice that really the more whenever we step outside, that there's so much nature around us, even on a busy road, and it's really good for us to help direct our attention and our awareness to everything that's alive. So even on a very busy road, and I experimented also with, in London, there the double-decker buses, and I had to go to the airport, and every time I was focusing, looking down, I was sitting at the top of it, but I was looking down to the road and the cars, and it was stressful. And then I thought, well, actually, I'm at a perfect level to look at all the tree tops because I'm sitting on the second level. And just as an experiment, I just focused just on seeing all the lovely canopies of trees and appreciating their beauty, their diversity, their colors, the way they were moving. And after a while, I felt so happy and relaxed and blissful. I thought, wow. So this is a really good example of how just shifting our focus in the same environment from something that is stressful and alarming to our nervous system to something that is natural and soothing and that we find beautiful can have an amazing, amazing difference. So we do not need to walk far or go to a remote forest. Literally anywhere that we can focus, indoors or outdoors, on something that is alive and part of the natural world, it will make a huge difference.
Yeah, honestly, when you just told me this story, and I could imagine going onto double decker and to see this canopy, and sometime like bus touch some branch, and you can hear it like next to your ears, almost like saying hello.
Yes.
And I start feeling already better. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It can be so simple. It can be so simple. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just to imagine, like to close your eyes and to
Yes.
imagine that you are in the forest and everywhere grass. You already could feel better.
Yes, it's whenever we are having a lovely experience in nature, which of course we can amplify through becoming more aware of it, and moving more slowly is another very simple way to just notice more and to understand that this is actually one of the smartest things that we can do. Sometimes we think we need to rush to be productive, but really giving ourselves more time and notice and giving our mind a break to refresh ourselves is actually one of the smartest things to do. And so if we are going out, whenever we're going out, even if it's walking to the post office or the shops, we can literally engage our senses and receive, being this open receptive mode where nature can give us the sensations, and taking our senses for a walk, even as we're walking, and becoming aware of that. And then if we have a very special experience in nature that is more profound or blissful, or we feel very connected, then we can remember that. And then, like you said, when we're in a indoor environment, maybe we're feeling stress, we can remind ourselves of that experience and transport ourselves back there in our mind, and it will have an immediate effect already. Yeah.
Oh, I recommend everyone to go and try forest bathing with you. It's an amazing experience, and an amazing experience with very lovely lady.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
So everyone,
Yeah, it just reminds us of who we are. Also, one aspect that we forget: in nature, there are no interferences. So when we're indoors, everything is artificial. It's not, it's dead. And also the shapes and forms are more geometric. And when we are in nature, everything is alive, and the shapes and sounds and colors, everything is natural. And our mind and our body evolved in nature. So everything in nature feels familiar and safe to us, to our nervous system. And it reminds us of our own aliveness, and everything is alive around us, and it is enlivening. It makes us feel more alive. But what I meant by interference, we are all sentient, sensible, and sensitive beings as well. So we can pick up on other people's emotions, thoughts, and feelings, as obviously. And so when we're indoors, if you are an empath, or you're more aware or open to other people's feelings and energies, you can pick up on that. Now, in nature, we get a break and a respite from all of these interferences. So it's literally, there is no judgment coming towards us. There is no negative emotion. So we can breathe and actually remember who we are and come back to ourselves and our own higher wisdom and intuition, because there's that space where there's no interference from any thing negative or artificial. And that alone is so powerful. It's almost like, I can breathe, I can be myself, I have the space to think, to feel, and to really inquire within myself what is true to me, what is my intuition telling me, what is nature telling me. We can even ask nature questions and just be open to the answers as well. And so it's the ideal, perfect environment, even though it's not an environment, it's really, we are part of it. So it's not just a backdrop or an environment, but it's our family, really. It's our living family of the natural living world. However, that is the right space for us, and environment, as in hanging out with really good friends who are supportive. That's the way I mean environment, to put ourselves in the space and the environment, in the company of other living organisms, friends, animals, that can, to many people, feel like family. That can help us to come back to ourselves and actually remember our self-worth and our self-love and self-acceptance. Yeah.
and I completely agree. And it's like, for myself, I'm personally prefer to guide my game Lila outdoor. Like many people do it indoor, but like all the time I can do it outdoor for the season that allow me. That's what I love to do, because I believe that nature is so supportive, and people feel better, and they more like for them to, it's easier to open up for them, even for themselves personally, not for me as a guide, but for themselves, and to accept the information which come in. Everything is much more nicer and easier in nature. Yeah.
Absolutely. It just feels more natural and more effortless. And that's what we need, right? We've forgotten how to be natural. Yes, and nature is literally there for us to remember who we are and what feels natural to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, the message that I always receive from nature and that others are receiving from nature continuously really is you are part of nature, you are alive, you are valuable, you are part of this whole ecosystem where everything is working together. So you are needed, and therefore you can never not be enough or not worthy or anything like that. So and also that you're beautiful, because everything in nature is beautiful. So when we remember that we are alive, that we are part of nature, and we appreciate the beauty of nature, then we can remember that we are all of that. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It's very lovely message. Susan,
Yes.
so grateful that you were part of these interviews, and really I'm appreciate you as a person, as a guide. Everything you do is so lovely, and I know you already helped so many people, and I believe that you will help even more people. And also I believe that many people will want to, after this interview, once they watch it, they will want to connect with you to find out more about you and what you do. So if you can share more where they can find you, then it will be really great.
Oh, thank you, Tanya. I really appreciate and also everything you do as well. It's beautiful and wonderful. And thank you. I really enjoyed playing the game Lila with you, and it helped me a lot. So thank you. I can highly recommend it. And yes, so my website is the easiest way for people to find me, to see what I'm doing, and to connect with me, which is just meetinnature.com, as in like MEET in nature.com. And I have a free guide on my website because I want to help women especially to energize themselves with nature. So there's a free natural energy insider guide that you can download from, and there are some specific, or there's one really beautiful specific practice that you can do with a tree as well, that you can find on there as well. But really ultimately I want everyone to encourage to just go out and get into your senses and start being curious and engage with nature, following your own intuition. And if you like, you of course can join an event with me as well, but you also need to remember that you are part of nature and can do this on your own as well.